I'm Davie.
I'm Misty.
DM Watts.
Unscripted.
Unedited.
Unapologetic.
Let's get it. What's going on, everybody? I'm Davie.
I'm Misty.
And we are DM Watts. You guys, welcome to another episode of DM Watts podcast. So you guys make sure you click on that link, subscribe. And you guys, just so you know, when you guys click on that link and subscribe to us, in case you didn't know, it literally doesn't like do a thing where it puts us, you'll find out every episode, you won't have to come back. It'll notify you and say, hey, there's a new episode out.
Yeah.
Things like the same thing on like Spotify and all those other things.
Right. So any streaming service that you listen or watch us on, when you click subscribe, all it literally does is sends a notification to your phone every time we upload a video or do a new podcast. And that way you don't have to go looking.
It's like, hey,
it'll just come to your phone.
It'll just come straight to you, and that way you'll know.
It makes it easier to find us.
That's for sure.
In a sea of podcasts.
That's right. You're looking for the one awesome one.
Exactly.
You have found us.
So why not just have it go directly to your phone by hitting subscribe?
Exactly.
So that's why you do that. And of course, let us know you like us by clicking like.
Of course.
And comment anytime.
Truth.
You have to agree or disagree.
Of course.
With Davie.
Whatever. You guys already know the email, dmwatchpodcast@gmail.com. And once again, all the streaming services, if you watch us on YouTube, it's what we always do. All of those. And Doge and AMC, we getting our butt kicked, but we still are.
I want to talk about it.
Yeah, we still believers.
Next time you tune in, there's going to be a line between us. It's going to be just Ghostbusters right on top of it.
Question mark next to it or something like, I don't know.
Nope, just the line.
And then, of course, we are still part of the Sheba Army. So you guys go ahead and check that stuff out over there. But I'm telling you, that's just one thing that we got to say is just like AMC. We just like, hey. Granted, there's that whole you got to be patient. You know, nothing happens overnight. You know, what I'm saying those like, hey, I've been holding it for a while. I was like, yeah, well, you know, AMC was like $12 a good month or two ago. So I think, you know, even now it's still higher than what it was.
Yeah, don't care.
Yeah, but it's still.
we have things to share real quick before we get into the fishbowl topic.
What are we sharing?
We are sharing the fact that Wounded Warrior, the Air Force Wounded Warrior, caught wind of us and did a beautiful article on us.
They did.
That is on the Wounded Warrior website. And is also now popping up on different Air Force Base websites.
It is. It was so if you guys listen to our special, we did that PTSD special.
Sure. We did three. We did from the member, the caregiver, and the kids' point of views.
So we did from my point of view, her point of view, and our children's point of view. And it apparently caught the attention of the Air Force, and they sure enough put it on the site. We'll include the link with when we put it up.
Right. And if you find us on Facebook or Instagram, the Twitter, even the link is on there as well. So
actually, I believe if you just type in DM Watts Podcast.
If you type in DM Watts Podcast in Google and scroll down, you'll see it. Yeah. It says Joint Air Force Base San Antonio.
Right.
With the article headline, the name of the article was when PTSD hits home, a caregiver's perspective.
Right. And so it's very in detail. So for anybody who's going through it and so on and so forth, check it out.
Again, it was beautifully written, and we really thank you, Wounded Warrior, for featuring us.
Right. So if you guys haven't heard that sound, aren't hearing the sound, that sound is the stir of anxiety from the fishbowl. So Misty is going through the fishbowl, and
no whammies.
Let's see what we got here. Let's see what she has at. She got that anxiety.
This is why I have anxiety. The fishbowl topic of today is politics.
Oh man, I wish we could put this back. Yes, I wish we could put this back, but that's why we call it unapologetic. We pulled it. We'll go with it because we'll keep it as unapologetic as possible. And but we understand that given our fishbowl topic, somebody's bound to be upset anyway. We can't please everybody. So politics. How can I start this off except for saying everybody lies? Everybody.
That's a good way to start it off, though.
I'm gonna start off by saying that every politician lies, whether it's the president, whether it's a Congress member, whether it's the mayor, the
They're
government.
literally doing it to get your vote.
Yeah, they're doing it to get
Do
your
you
vote.
guys not remember high school, middle school,
Yeah,
running for student council member or
Yeah.
class president?
yeah,
You lied.
You lied.
You said you were going to cut homework in half. You lied.
yeah.
You said we were going to get a free period. You lied.
Yeah. So
I mean, unless you count detention,
truth. I mean, but all right,
because you lie.
so let's think about it. The most controversial thing in politics right now, obviously, we know whether you love the guy or hate the guy. Clearly, Trump is all over the place when it comes to the politics. I mean, I guess when it comes down to it, there's a lot of things that he told the truth about. There's a lot of things he lied about. However, it's the same thing with a lot of presidents, you know. But I think one of the biggest things that when it comes to Trump is that the massive amount of people it affected with him saying the things that he said.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
And I mean, there's levels of political lie.
Mhm.
And his was just
It was just so much.
freaking insane.
Man, he got fact checked quite often.
The-
and then
Come on. Like
I mean,
the dude was,
there was a lot of things that
come on, guys.
that you guys knew to be factual, but because it came out of his mouth, it was like, no. Those
and I want to go ahead and disclaimer. He is not the second coming of Christ.
No.
I promise you he's not. He's not the Antichrist. I promise you he's
neither
not.
one. Some of these things that we see,
The
we're
maddening
like,
of
really?
King George, he is.
Yeah.
The man is probably really insane, and really upset right now.
Yeah.
And he's just, he doesn't personally scare me. His followers scare me.
It's not even him.
The
It's just the followers, the
extremists
extremists.
of the political
it
world
is like-
scare me.
it
Far
is-
left scares me. Far right scares
But
me.
that's the thing. Like, you know, everybody was like, hey, you guys must, everybody we talked to, you guys must be Democrats. No, you must be Republicans. No, we know that Democrats do some things wrong. We will say that Republicans do some things wrong. But what I can't stand is that the reason I can't stand having both of those parties is that when you look at it, is it's like nobody has a single answer or what's right and what's wrong.
No,
Because it's like if you go against your party, immediately, even if you're correct, if you go against your party or whoever is the leader of the party, immediately it's like shun. You know what I'm saying? It's like whatever. It's like it's like you're not allowed to voice your opinion.
But I find the flip-flopping, that's politics.
Truth.
Right? And it's not really flip-flopping. If you've been in the Senate for 10 years or the Congress or whatever, and you've changed your mind, that's called evolution.
Yeah, I mean,
and as far as normal, just normal people on Facebook and all that goes,
man.
let me tell you something. When Trump won, a lot of them were sitting there going, look, guys, this is, democracy at work, blah, blah, blah. It'll be okay. This is what happens.
Yeah.
And then when he didn't win again,
It was like,
it became, this is bullshit.
this is
You
fraud.
guys stole the election. You're cheaters.
I was like, wait a minute.
And I'm like, wait, you can't sit there and say, at
Yeah.
the beginning of the Trump era, hey,
Yeah.
remember, the president really doesn't control shit.
yeah.
And then when it doesn't happen, oh my God,
yeah.
we're all gonna die.
Well, here's the other question with that. A lot of people, when it comes to like election fraud and stuff like, hey, he won by a landslide. Okay, so it's only fraud in the states that he didn't win. That's what I mean. Let's think about this. It's only fraud in the states that he didn't win.
Yeah.
The states that he won, everything's fine.
Yeah.
The states that he didn't win, it's fraud. Right. So none of these issues that you claim to be happening
It's
in these other states
Bullshit.
happened in any of these other ones.
If Penn and Teller can say it, so can I.
I'm
bullshit.
just saying, so it only happened in the states that he lost in.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's made up, make believe
Yeah.
in his own little tiny island of a brain.
Yeah. And
Bullshit.
and-
And anybody that follows him, I'm just gonna say it. If you guys are, and I mean, when I say a follower, I don't mean you
Yeah.
like the guy, you vote for the guy, you
there's
agree
nothing
with
wrong
them.
with that.
Go for it. Democracy.
Yeah,
At work.
democracy. That's what it's about.
Vote for who you're gonna vote for.
Yeah.
Follow who you're gonna follow. But if I see you in camo geared up to go storm the Capitol,
You're an idiot.
you
You're
have
an
a
idiot.
tiny little.
Yeah, you're an idiot. And here's the thing. The problem that we have now with this political figure is that now we've gotten so divided that literally you cannot say anything derogatory about Trump around a huge supporter. Like literally, it's about to be a huge argument, and I'm like, well, why can't I just have a difference in opinion as you? Like,
and it didn't
whether you
used
believe
to be
it,
that way.
yeah. Like, why can't? I don't understand why you got to go in attack mode because I don't feel the way that you
Even
do
with
about it.
the most staunch of people that were against Obama that I would talk to, it never went there. It was always an intelligent
It was an intelligent conversation
or an enlightening one. And I'm one of those. I like to see things from other people's point of view.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to judge you or knock you for it. Now, if you come at me and you can't give me any facts and you can't tell me anything that's actually happening, and you're just going to argue and get louder and then say something really stupid.
Yeah. And it's like, okay,
we're going to have an issue.
So, I mean, now don't get me wrong.
Come at me, bro.
Right. But let's talk, when we talk politics, tell me why that you feel that Trump was a great president. There's nothing wrong with you having an intelligent conversation. There are things that he did that I did agree with.
And it was hard for me. It was hard for me even
because
when
I was
we were
like, no,
dating.
I agree with that. I was
because
like, I do agree with that.
I waited till you proposed to me to be like, so.
But what does it matter who I follow? Like, you know what I mean? It wouldn't matter who I voted for. It has nothing to do with our love for each other.
No, of course it doesn't.
You know what I mean?
But I need to know if you're, kind of backwoods like that.
No, I'm not extreme like that. Like, no, but if I like Trump and I'm like, hey, no, this is my opinion. That's why I think that, he's good as a president, but I don't expect to get the book thrown at me because I like Trump. No, I like some of the things Trump does, and that's just being real about it. I do like some of the things he did for like the veterans. Now, some of the things, let's be honest, some of the things Obama started, it started with Obama.
Sure.
And I appreciate how he took credit for it. Some things he expanded upon from what Obama started. I was like, that's not right. You know what I mean? I was like, that's not right at all. But
Obama always got blamed.
Yes.
Like the crash, the economic crash and all of that happened under Bush, but it came into fruition under Obama. That's how shit happens. It has an ebb and a flow, and once it starts, you can't stop it.
Yeah.
So the worst of it's going to happen. He couldn't have stopped it.
Right. So
just like Trump couldn't have stopped anything good that was going to keep happening unless he just sat there and signed the executive order to make it stop, which he did. But I'm not going to go there. I'm just saying. But
at the same time, how many years do you guys think it takes for an executive or the decision that the president makes for you to see the actual effect of what that person is doing? It takes years.
For the exception of, I'm sure, but okay, I got to say this before I forget, because I'm going to forget.
Okay.
There's so much I want to say.
Okay.
Did you see it?
I guess. No, I did not see it, but
in my ears, and all I kept seeing was Trump, and it just.
But
there was smoke.
Yeah, I get it. There's that thing about it because
I found it again.
Okay, go ahead.
No, sorry, the dog. This has really got me riled up. I think
see that.
It does, and it makes my brain not work correctly. But you can't, as a president, there's so much more we don't know. So don't tell me that this can happen and that can happen, and then you find out it can't. It's like, okay, they're going to tell us aliens aren't real. Apparently aliens are real. Do you know what I mean? There's so much more. So don't sit there and give me armchair quarterback policymaker telling me what Biden's doing wrong when you don't know the full story. You don't know what's happening in Russia. You only know what the freaking media is telling you.
That's true.
What's happening in Russia. You only know what we're allowed to know. And if you think this is a free country when it comes to speech, you are sorely mistaken. We are misinformed. You want to know what's going on? Get a better worldview of all the news around the world, and then maybe you'll start to understand what's actually going on, because we are not privy to that information.
We're not. And
you do not have a top security clearance, Mr. Man, sitting in front of your freaking TV, with picking your belly button.
With your right to bear arms.
With your gun.
There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like, you talk about a worldview. It killed me, like when Trump was in office, man, fake news. And whenever anything derogatory that was about him was always fake news.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're,
even though he would say it, and we'd all see him say it.
Right. It's like, it's fake news, but it's like, so if I'm, even as an extremist, even if I'm like a devout follower of Trump, right? If I'm a devout follower of Trump, you still have to use your brain and be like, hey, now no, there's not everything that comes out is fake. That you know what I mean?
If you believe everything a politician says, you are a parrot, not a patriot.
Right.
A parrot.
And that's the thing. So, you know, and don't get me wrong, there were things that people say, hey, Obama said this, which wasn't true. That's what we said. Every politician lies. Every president, think about it. No president has told you everything.
No.
Every president from Obama to Bush to Reagan, all of them, Clinton, they can't get up and tell you what's real, because guess what? When it comes down to it in politics, and the same thing, whether you're a mayor, a governor, wherever you at, and when it comes to politics, there are people sitting around them saying, look, you can't say this.
Sure.
Like, because like, think about when I was in the military, there was a station at a place. I just call it a place. And literally at this place, on this place, in the building on this place, their entire job is to think about, if we make this move, how other countries would feel about it.
And I don't want to go to that place.
Yeah. It would literally, their entire job is to be like, all right, look, if we do this,
right,
this person's going to get pissed. This country's going to get pissed. They're going to do this. And it's the same thing that they do in politics. All those aides and everybody else, they're like, hey, you probably shouldn't say this.
We're not allowed to know everything, because if we did, guess what would happen a lot of times? Panic.
Yeah.
And then you've got to think of just, you know, there are certain things that happen, you know, let's go into not traditions, but just the way our democracy is set up and the way our money is set up. And all of these things are a practicing theory. It is in practice. It is successful, but we are the longest practicing democracy.
Truth.
So since the Romans,
right?
So you have to sit there and go, okay, so, you know, there is that sacrifice sometimes we have to make. So maybe not knowing all the information is part of that sacrifice, because people would panic.
Right. But that's the thing that you have to ask yourself. You know what I mean? Sometimes, a lot of times, you know, when Bush got up there, when Obama got up there, when Clinton got up there, definitely when Trump got up there, you know,
I panicked every time.
And it's panic. Is, you know, it's literally it's the only time that people truly would listen to the president and absorb everything that he's saying is when an actual disaster just happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like 9/11. Love Bush or hate Bush. When 9/11 happened, everybody was like, what we gonna do? Everybody was glued to the TV like, look, you are our leader. You are our leader.
That's what a president does.
Whether you was a Democrat or a Republican or an independent, liberal, whatever,
or an undecided.
At that time, it didn't matter how you felt about the president.
Yeah.
It was, what are we gonna do? Because they cannot get away with this.
And exactly.
If you weren't around during the 9/11, then you don't get there's the things that you
don't
see.
If you weren't around during 9/11, okay, fine, but you just went through a pandemic.
Right.
Did you feel like you had a father figure that knew better than you, that was smarter than you, that was up there telling you what to do?
There was a lot of misinformation.
Did you feel like you had that in our president at that time?
Let's put it to you like this. When it comes to the president, you're the leader. And when you have advisors, you're going to have advisors from, I mean, you take Fauci. And look, we're well aware and we're totally prepared for people to click off of us for even saying these things. And that's fine. You know, it's when it comes to unapologetic. It's when it comes down to
it's our opinion.
It's our opinion. And we're not negating how other people feel, but this is how we feel on it.
Yeah.
So the thing is that when you have all these advisors telling you, hey man, you got Fauci up there, and now all of a sudden everybody's like, he's a quack. What? He's the lead. What? He's a quack. He's a quack.
I don't know. He's been around since AIDS, so I don't understand.
The guy made advancements in AIDS research. He is the reason we have the advancements in AIDS research.
But I mean, let's think about it. The ones, and forgive me for those of you that are more of a progressive Trump supporter. Good on ya.
Yeah, there's not.
But the majority. I'm not talking about the minority of you guys. I'm talking about the majority that we at least are shown.
Yeah.
And I'll go there too.
Yeah.
That we are shown, because I don't trust anybody except my husband and my son. Sometimes. But we just don't know the whole story.
No, we never know the whole story. And that's the thing. So because we have neighbors, we have neighbors here who are avid well, one of our neighbor, he's an avid Trump follower, and me and him just go back and forth, like jokingly. We literally
Oh,
are
yeah.
the epitome of what an intelligent conversation should be like, because he can go and say this. I'm like, I didn't know that. But then I can say this. He's like, I didn't know that either. But you're still gonna put, go Trump, out there in your yard. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Sure.
And it does. Our problem is not with people who support Trump. Our problem was with people who wants to sit here and berate people who don't.
Yeah.
That is where our problem comes from.
It's the hate.
It's the hate that is ensued when I don't agree with.
Well, we're mentioning AIDS and Dr. Fauci and the
Right.
advancements he had made and how he was the one, to speak on it.
Mhm.
But then we're asking people, again, the extremists,
Yeah.
to then accept AIDS as far as, a disease that needs to still be looked at
Right.
because of what they want to say it came from.
Right.
So it's like you can't.
Right. And here's the thing.
I'm talking about the majority that we see.
Mhm. You're right, because a lot of people said, I think one of the other biggest things that we notice that people have a problem, like when it comes to Biden, is they're like, he's trying to take away our guns. And granted, I do see the videos. I have seen the videos, and it was like, yep, there's no reason for you to have an AR-14. That's what he called it. But I mean, he's talking about AR-15. But there's no reason for you to have this. There's no reason for you to have this. It's like, I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? But so far, I haven't seen any legislations come out about it. Just like, but you got to understand also, when you think about certain things, what do you consider trying to take your guns away? Does making it more restrictive or more difficult to buy guns, that means he's taking it away?
Sure.
Or is it, hey, you need to come and register your gun. We already know who you are, and we coming to get you if you're not. Is that taking away your gun? So far, you guys said Obama was trying to do the same thing. That didn't happen either. He just tried to make it.
I've lived through so many presidents.
Right.
And so have you.
Uh-huh.
And we hear this every time a Democrat hits office. Every time. And yet I didn't see anybody have a hard time through Clinton getting a gun.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody having a hard time through Obama getting a gun.
Yeah.
And so
there's
far,
a lot of talk about it. There's a lot of talk that they were going to make it hard. It was like, hey, they're going to make it hard, but like nothing changed.
There always is. But that is, I'm sorry, that's the NRA, which has no right to be a part of anything in our democracy. Big business, pharmaceutical, guns, I don't give a shit who you are. You have no right to influence or try to make a decision on how the people we elected makes that decision, because we elected them to make that decision for us.
You're spitting it off. Don't. NRA likes to throw stuff out like, hey, we're fighting for the right to bear arms. No, you're fighting for your right to make more money. So so you're basically going to, let me pay this senator, this congressman more money to, hey, fight for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The same thing when it comes to pharmaceuticals. I mean, big pharma. I mean, think about how long it takes anything to get regulated in the medicine world.
Oh, but by God, they pushed that vaccine
They
out
put
there,
that vaccine came out, man, in a year's time. You know what I'm saying? AIDS has been around for like ever. And, we were just talking about the other day, Mexico has medicines that does, great, but it has to go through ages and years of research. Over here. People are dying from it. People are dying from the flu. But, that Rona came out and it's like, hey, this is fucking up our money. So
it's kind of how it seems. And we believe that the Rona happened. We're not saying that it didn't happen.
We are definitely 100% believers of the Rona.
Yes.
But but you also gotta, people also gotta understand this. If you're still listening to this and you're cursing us out, that's fine. That's fine, because
it's called America.
It's called America. We can have a difference in opinion.
Yeah.
We can have a difference in opinion. And
he fought so you could have that.
That's right. And that's one thing that I will say. I fought for it too.
Yeah.
So you could have a disagreement in opinion and it just be okay. But you shouldn't berate me or us because we don't feel the same way you do.
But you also fought so that under hardship or under horrible circumstances, you fought for the idea of a country that comes together and that backs people up.
And that is one thing that I can say that probably disappointed me the most, when it came to the pandemic. The country came together, but it was extremely divided during this pandemic too. You know what I mean? And that's what a leader is supposed to do, is supposed to bring the country together.
No matter
no
who
matter
you
what.
are, who
Not
you believe in, what you
exactly.
believe in.
Every disaster
what
that has happened,
sets-
every
what do you-
disaster that has
doesn't matter.
happened, every president gets up there and
Unites.
unites the people.
Yeah.
It unites the people. I have never felt more divided than during this pandemic, because like it was literally strictly about Fauci's an idiot. Trump knows he's talking about open the country. I ain't wearing no mask. This is stupid. You're infringing on my rights. I don't have to wear a mask. It's fake. My biggest one was that it's not a real disease. Like, man, we've seen so many people posting up stuff about the disease ain't real. And I don't know whether you believe in God or not, but I'm talking about perfect karma. This is fake. This is fake. And then the next week they get it. So you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. So
well, and I'm gonna throw this out there too. The best tweet I've seen was last week. I can't remember who said it, but he was saying, "Hey, Donald Trump, nobody is infringing on your wow, that was
yeah, it was pretty deep. It's pretty deep. Yeah, this was Paul's for Burpee. You're welcome.
We had chili tonight. He made the best chili. But your freedom of speech, nobody's infringing on it. The freedom of speech is a protection under the government, not being allowed to censor you.
That has nothing to do with Facebook.
Facebook is private. Yeah.
But that's the way it
Instagram
goes.
is private. Twitter is private.
Yeah. Look,
that's not a freedom of speech thing. He can still yell in the town square as long as he's got the right permit to do so, or he can yell with a bullhorn in his own property. He can call a press conference. He can do whatever he wants to do and say whatever the hell he wants to say. Nobody's stopping him. Yeah, we're just stopping him from social media.
Right. And one of the things I think one of the biggest things to take away from this is that look at our three objectives in our intro: unscripted, unedited, and unapologetic. Let's get it. So here's the thing: we ain't gonna apologize for our opinion.
No,
and that's fine for you to disagree with us.
We expect it. We
wouldn't ask you to apologize for your opinion.
It's not what America is.
We rate our email, dmyspodcast@gmail.com. You know the name.
Hate has to stop.
Hate gotta stop.
The hate speech has to stop.
It got to.
The going off on people, the shaming of people, the forgetting how to act or have manners has gotta stop.
And honestly, people want to blame Trump for it, but there's also a second part to it. Is Trump to blame, or is all this what you secretly had in you already? And he just brought it out.
Absolutely.
And
I'm going to be honest, the media feeds on that. They take it and they say, "Ooh, America's scared. Let's play on it. Let's separate the country."
You know further. What? I'm gonna be honest with you. Shame on you, CNN, and shame on you, Fox News. Shame on you both. You both.
Shame on all of them.
All of them. You both literally like, look, you are supposed to be unbiased. All of you supposed to be unbiased. Let's face it. Fox, you're Republicans. CNN, you're Democrats. Both of you are screwed up, and you literally play the good news based on which one of you guys as leader is in office.
Well, and now news is about ratings. And who's
apparently it's not supposed to be an unbiased opinion. You guys are supposed to be informative.
I'm pretty sure that Edward R. Murrow is rolling over in his grave, going, "Give me back all the trophies you guys gave out in my name," because nothing is unbiased anymore. Nothing is just the facts.
So that's just look,
and it's really, that's why you guys have to educate yourself. Look at yesterday's podcast on education. You guys have to educate yourself. Get your own source, and if that means you're getting it directly from the White House, okay, then that's the best source you've got.
Freedom of Information Act.
It's not filtered through everybody else's opinion.
There's one thing I can say to that too: Freedom of Information Act. You can literally research and get stuff yourself. Freedom of Information Act. You can request information from the White House, and if it falls under the Freedom of Information Act, they have to give it to you. They literally have to send it to you.
They do.
And then will it take them a while? But they have to send it to you. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Educate yourself. TV should not be your education.
Neither should YouTube.
Neither should YouTube
or Facebook.
Hey,
or WebMD.
Reading is fundamental.
Wow, that was a good one.
That's what I do. I bring it down.
But yeah, it's a hard subject, and I'm not gonna lie, I am nervous, and I have been saying this to him. I'm nervous about August 16th.
Yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen.
We just don't know. After what happened at the Capitol, I'm
Look.
I'm gonna be inside.
Yeah, we're gonna be on side, but try it if you want. No, I will throw that out there. But yeah, try it. That goes for the capital in this house. So
Oh, you're
but,
gonna see is a pink blur.
Yeah, I can tell you, try it if you want.
Spider.
Yeah, try it if you want. Yeah, that's all I can really say.
Hidden dragon. Pink hair.
Try it if you want. Anyway, hey, so that's our take. We know we probably pissed a few people off. We probably high-fiving some other folks.
Hey,
look,
we
to
pissed
those,
some people
we
off.
definitely gonna high-five ourselves. Look, if you decide to shut us off because you don't like what we're saying about your president, that's fine.
That's cool.
That he was our president too.
Yeah.
Obama was our president too.
Yeah.
We didn't agree with everything Obama did.
Yeah.
We didn't agree with everything
No.
Trump did.
No.
But we both know that the only thing you're gonna hear is you didn't agree with Trump.
Yeah.
Or the only thing the other extremists are gonna hear, you didn't agree with Obama. That's the only things you're gonna hear.
Yeah, exactly.
But we will tell you, every president has their flaws. Nobody's perfect. Neither is every person listening to this, or the person who's saying Trump is great or Obama is great.
Yeah.
They're not perfect. So that's what it is. But they're just trying to do what they can. At least what they believe is correct anyway. But at least that's what we hope. But anyway, that's our take on politics. The thing about it that we will say is that politics, religion, it always gets everybody riled up. It always gets everybody riled up, and it's sad. But here at DM Watts, we'll talk about whatever. We ain't gonna put that thing back in the fishbowl. We're gonna spit it out.
I'm gonna go burn it.
Yeah. We probably will never pull that one again, but
no.
That's what it is. But that's how we do over here at DM Watts. We'll talk about it regardless of who likes it, who hates it, who loves it. Thank you, and whatever F you too, if that's the case. But hey.
Say good night, Gracie.
Yeah, dmwatchpodcast@gmail.com. You guys know all the streaming services. Doge to the Moon, AMC. We don't want to give you the Ghostbuster line, but we have to. Sheba Army. Y'all know what it is. But signing off, I am Davie.
I'm Misty.
And we are DM Watts. Everybody take it easy. All right. And you can't get canceled. It's on YouTube.
You're probably gonna